back to Axiom's live stream session. In today's sessions, the agenda for live stream is to explore a blockchain. Now, Team Axiom will give you the conceptual and practical elaboration how the blockchain can be implemented, and hence you will be understanding the advantages of blockchain conceptually and practically. But before going for blockchain, we need to understand firstly what is the advantage of blockchain, because blockchain is actually a decentralized system. Before understanding blockchain, it's mandatory for it's important for us to understand the difference between the centralized systems and the decentralized system. In case of centralized systems, up till now what we are using, for example, we have a server and we all are going to connect to that server to avail that all the services deployed on the server. This system is called as centralized system, where server admin can set up the rules for all the users, privileges can be set, entire data, the services will be deployed on one server, and as a slave, these all the users can utilize these all the services and the data shared from the server. The architecture is called as client server architecture, where server will be the master and all the users who are connecting to the server are behave like a slaves. So in case of centralized, one single authority, or you can say a small group, controls the entire system. All data, decisions, and power flow from the center only. But in case of decentralized system, control and decision makings are distributed across many nodes or participants. No single entity has absolute authority. In case of centralized server, if server stop functioning, what is going to happen? The entire system get collapsed. The reason is all the users cannot able to perform any functionality on the server, because all the data and the privileges and the system was deployed on the server only. One single entity is responsible for serving all the data and services. But in case of decentralizations, user have all the rights. Every user can be treated as a node, single entity who having all the features and functionalities deployed on that. It should not be dependent on the server. So in this case, if any nodes or any server stops functioning, doesn't affect the system. So that is exactly called as decentralizations. Why I'm discussing these things? Because your blockchain is an practical example of decentralizations. Guys, future systems lies in the decentralization, because nowadays, because of usage of internet throughout the day, entire banking transactions, entire data sharing, video streaming, everything is happening through the server. I mean, the centralized server. So all the financial transactions, all the data sharings are depend on the server. And if server get hacked or server get interrupted, stop functioning, the entire transactions and entire functionality stops over there, and it will be the big loss considering the e-commerce or the even the data breach will occur in case. So you cannot protect the data, and lesser protected systems will be achieving in case of centralizations. So now I'll be giving the examples of centralizations and decentralized systems. In case of money and finance, we know that we are having the centralized banks. You'll open the account over there, you perform their debit and credit transactions, and then you will be getting the online profiles so that you can able to pay through the QR code or your UPI mode and all. But that all the things can be controlled by the centralized bank. In case of they are decentralized, and many times in centralized things, okay, server is, if the bank server is not happening or bank server is not functioning, your your entire transactions, or you cannot able to perform any kind of transactions on the banking system that day. In case of decentralizations, like example of a cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, there is no central bank. The entire network to whom you are connected with, that validates the transactions. So in case of money and finance, the cryptocurrency is an example of a decentralization. To understand it furthermore, in case of social medias, the the examples like a social media, popular social media available now, the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, these all actually the services provided by the companies, and which controls that entire algorithm of data sharing and data storing and the data protection as well. So data and content moderations are actually defined by that company which is providing that social media platform for us. But in case of decentralizations, the system like the social media service system like a Mastodon, Blue Sky partially, these are the independent servers run by different admins where user can choose their own rules. In case of centralized systems, we are dependent on the companies or the social medias which set their own rules. So nowadays, means there you feel like a slave. There you feel like the data is not with you. Whatever data they will be capturing from you, they'll be that entire data owned by them. They have their own rules. But in case of digitalizations, you will be a partner. You will be a stakeholder. You can you can owe that you can set up the rules for data sharing as well as of your own sort of. So in case of next example is of internet and data, where traditional DNS, domain name services or domain name system rather, the root servers controlled by the system, that is centralized systems. In case of blockchain, there is a blockchain based DNS, Ethereum name services, where no central authority can seize or alter your domains. That is the arrangement in case of decentralizations. Organizations, the traditional corporations, where the CEOs and top decision makers will take the decision. This is the centralized arrangement. In case of decentralized arrangements, DAOs, like decentralized autonomous organizations, take token holders vote on proposal via smart contracts. These kind of arrangements are there. In case of cloud storage, centralized systems like Google Drive, Dropbox, company owns and secure your files. But the protocols are defined by the companies. But in case of cloud storage also, in the decentralized, the system like IPFS, Filecoin, storage, files are fragmented and stored across many volunteer nodes. In case of centralized communication system, WhatsApp, WeChat, where messages are relayed to the central servers. We think in case of WhatsApp also, there is a end-to-end encryptions, but it's a communication between the A user to B user. But that transmission of a data, whether it's the audio, video, or the text, it is happening through the centralized server only. So centralized server, before transmission to the next user, it has to be recorded on the server itself. The centralized server have all the data available, right? So though it is the transmission from A to B in the encryption manner, but the copy of the entire transactions will be available on the web server. But in case of decentralized systems, the matrix element sessions, these were a peer-to-peer or federated servers without central control can able to do the communications. And this is what exactly the difference between the, these are the examples I had given you from the centralized systems and the decentralized systems. As I told you, decentralization is the future, because in case of centralized system, everything controlled by one server and all are the slaves, right? So if that get failed, in case of advantages of decentralizations, no single point of failure. If one node, computer, server, or participant fails, the systems continues running, right? In case of centralized systems, if bank server crashes, no one can access their money. No one can do any transactions on that server, right? In a similar manner, in case of decentralized system, there is censorship registers. No central authority can block, reserve, or freeze transactions, posts, or data. Means it is not governed by someone. It is every individual who is in the network, who is in the net, who is in the chain, or they can define their own rules and regulations and the validations of that entire things, because that set of rules set by that all the chain. So the data protections as well as data sharing become faster, reliable. In case of decentralizations, greater use controls and ownership. User controls their own data, identity, and assets without asking permissions from the middleman. For example, with a decentralized file system, IPFS, you store your files on your own device or choose where they go instead of trusting on any particular, let's say, for example, Google Drive. Because if a Google Drive provides you the storing arrangements where you are storing this data and then where this goes, that you never know. We think that that is shared with only me, right? Shared with only us. But what they can do with this data, that we never know. So this is what exactly the idea of a decentralizations. To know more about the blockchain conceptually, the advantages and the practical implementation of the blockchain, let's open this forum to Team Axiom. They can elaborate more, and together we can explore much more things with them regarding the blockchain. Over to Team Axiom.
Hey everyone, welcome to the live stream. Have you ever wondered how cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin actually work, or how data can be stored without being controlled by any single authority? Well, today we are going to break it all down in a very simple way. So stay with us till the end because we also have a live demo coming. So let's start with the base. Blockchain is a decentralized digital ledger that stores data in a secure and transparent way. It allows multiple users to access and verify information without depending on the central authority, like a bank or government. Because of this, it removes immediately, making processes faster, more efficient, and often more cost effective.
Now, let's understand what blockchain actually is. Blockchain stores data in units called blocks. These blocks are connected in a chain, which is why it's called blockchain. Once data is added, it is very difficult to change, which ensures reliability. Each block is connected using cryptography, making the system secure. In simple words, blockchain is a digital ledger that records transactions in a secure, transparent, and decentralized manner. Blockchain has four main features. First, decentralization. No single authority controls the data. Second, transparency. All transactions are visible to participants in the network. Third, security. Data is protected using advanced cryptographic techniques. And fourth, immutability. Once data is recorded, it cannot be altered or deleted easily. Let's see how blockchain works step by step. First, a transaction is initiated, then the transaction is broadcast to a network of computers called nodes. These nodes validate the transaction. Once verified, the transaction is added to a block. Finally, the block is added to the blockchain, creating a permanent record. Blockchain is important because traditional system depends on a central authority, which can lead to security risk, lack of transparency, and higher cost. Blockchain solves this issue by providing a decentralized system where data is secure, transparent, and cannot be easily changed. It reduces the need of intermediaries, increases trust, and makes process faster and more efficient. That is why blockchain is considered a powerful and future-ready technology. Each block in a blockchain contains three important elements. First, data, which includes transaction details. Second, hash, a unique code that identifies the block. Third, previous hash, which connects the block to the previous one, forming a chain. This structure ensures the security and continuity of the blockchain. Blockchain is used in many real world applications. In cryptocurrency, it powers digital currency like Bitcoin. In supply chain management, it helps track product from origin to delivery. In healthcare, it secures patient data and medical record. It is also used in digital identity verification and smart contracts, which automatically execute agreements. Blockchain has several advantages. It provides high security, transparency, and efficiency. One of the key reasons for these benefits is decentralization. Unlike centralized system where a single authority like a bank controls all data, blockchain distributes control among many participants. For example, in a centralized system like a bank, all transactions depend on one server. If that server fails or is hacked, the entire system cannot be affected. But in blockchain, there is no single point of failure, which make it more secure and reliable. Also, transactions happen directly between the users without a middleman, making the process faster and more efficient. However, it also has some challenges. It faces scalability issue, meaning it can be slow with large data. For instance, when many users perform transaction at the same time, the network may slow down. It consumes high energy, especially in some systems. For example, certain blockchain networks require a large amount of electricity to validate transaction. Another challenge is regulatory uncertainty. Different countries have different rules, and in some places, regulations are still unclear. Also, compared to centralized system, managing a decentralized network can be more complex because there is no single authority controlling it. So, overall, decentralization makes blockchain powerful and secure, but it also introduces some challenges that need to be improved. The future of blockchain looks very promising. Its use is growing across different industries. It is being integrated with technologies like artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things. We can expect more secure digital system and advanced digital identity solution in the future. All right, everyone, that's bring us to the end of this presentation on blockchain. I hope you have a clear understanding of blockchain technology and its importance. If you are watching live, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. We will try to answer them at the end of the session. Now, to give you a better practical understanding, I would like to hand over the session to my teammate who will demonstrate how blockchain works in a real world scenario. Stay tuned and over to you.
In this demonstration, I will demonstrate about smart contract. Before I begin with the demonstration, I want to clarify the core objectives of smart contract deployment. Maybe you have the question in your mind why we are using this technology instead of traditional software. First, the traditional system rely on a single central authority which create a single point of failure and required high maintenance overhead. But using smart contract, we replace those intermediary with self-executing code that reduce operational cost and human errors. To give you a small example, imagine a traditional shipment agreement. Normally, a human must be manually verified a delivery and then a bank proceed a payment day later. With a smart contract, the movement the proof of delivery is recorded on the block. The payment is released to a supplier instantly and automatically. No phone calls, no manual checks, no delays. We are creating a single version of the truth where the data is indisputable. In this demo, we will going to see three things: trustless automation, in which how a smart contract independently enforce a business rule on the blockchain without a middleman. Second, decentralized security, in which how the contract protect itself from unauthorized users using blockchain identity such as cryptographic id rather than just a password. Third, total transparency, how everyone interact, levels of payment, digital receipt on the ledger called an events. By the end of this demo, you will see the blockchain is robust engine for secure, transparent and automated business logic. Now let's focus on this IDE, which is Remix IDE. We are using Remix IDE. This is the industrial standard integrated development environment for a blockchain developer. It allows us to write, compile, and test smart contract delay in the browser. I have created one solidity file, hello world.solidity. Solidity is a language to uh, uh, program smart contracts. In these, we are using a 0.8.0 solidity version. In this program, in this code, this is the smart contract I have programmed as a owner variable, which act as our admin ID and the event called message change for audit trial. Most importantly, notice the required statement. This is our own on-chain security guard. It ensures only the authority on can modify the data. Now, I need to compile this code. Compile this code. After compilation, the code is compiled and ready to deploy. I am now deploying this to distributed ledger. At that exact moment, the contact is been born on the network. Contact is born on the network. My wallet address is now permanently recorded as a owner. This logic is now immutable and it cannot be changed or deleted by anyone. This is the main key important features of a smart contract. As you see in the below terminal, my smart contract has been deployed, which is hello world. uh, just I created, and here you can see the deployed contract is hello world. You can see all the transaction as well, like the transaction is transaction list. Here you can see the deployed, the hello world is deployed, that is the second ago. Now to check the authority, I am now interacting with this live contract as a owner. Because the blockchain is validate my identity, it permitted me to change. If I click on message, you can see the updates, the the authorized governance in the action. Let me go to this, click on this deploy contract. Then in this function area, I uh, click on this message function and call this message function. As you can see, uh, the string is passed hello blockchain, and the record is stored in the uh, public ledger. Now the security test. Now let me test the security. I switch the wallet to a hacker attempt. For that, I will switch my account to. Uh, when I try to change the data, the smart contract instantly reject the transaction. The security isn't private database; it is backed into the blockchain ledger itself. Uh, as I have changed my account, I update the message and write a new message here. uh, I am a hacker and try to transist the data. As you can see, it identify as a hacker attempt on this blockchain. As it not verify my transaction ID, it it can identify as a hacker attempt on this blockchain. This from this you can see the security concept of an security concept of an uh, smart contract. uh, then the audit trail. In final notice, this is the event log. Even through the hacker failed or a secured change generated, this is the permanent receipt. It shows the exact who changed the data, when and what the previous w- values was for an authority. This is the 100% verifiable certain. As the hacker can not change the data, but in they call the message, and you can see the hello blockchain message will be displayed. It means if the user can not change the data, another account not can change the data, but they can see what the transaction of a block and all the data of a certain blockchain. For the conclusion, what we see here is the proof of work. By looking at the transactions on the block Explorer, we have a computational proof that the decentralized network has validate and record our entry. It isn't just a save file; it is a global verified state changes. In less than 10 minutes, we moved from business idea to a live, secure, and transparent blockchain application. This provider, we can replace a manual oversights with smart contract. This is the foundation for how we can build high trusted project. In In demonstration, this today in a virtual environment for a speed. This natural step connector with the IDE to the MetaMask. From here, from the above the environment section, you can change the environment to a virtual public ledger to a MetaMask. MetaMask serves as a gateway to the public blockchain. It allows wallet to allow sign in sign transactions and move our code from a private workspace to a global Ethereum network. By switching the environment to a injected provider, we allows MetaMask to bridge the gap between code and the real world. Now my teammate will be demonstrate about the MetaMask.
Okay. Thank you, Arshad. Hello, everyone. So, today I am going to demonstrate the most fundamental user task in the blockchain space, setting up a wallet and making a transaction. This is the core experience for anyone using the cryptocurrencies or blockchain applications. So, why we are using a blockchain for this? Why not using just PayPal or a banking app? The answer is that blockchain technology introduces a new level of trust and the user control. As I go through the demonstration, I want you to watch for three key differences from the traditional financial world. First, the concept of self-custody. In a moment, you will see my MetaMask wallet. I'll share my screen first. So this is my MetaMask wallet. I will log into it first. Yeah, we can see here this is my MetaMask wallet. So isn't just an app. It's a tool that gives me absolute control over my digital assets, with no bank or company acting as a middleman. I am my own. I have my own bank here. Second, the principle of radical transparency. When I send a transaction, we won't get a private receipt. Instead, we will look up the transaction on a public blockchain explorer. This means anyone anywhere can verify that it happened, creating a system of trust based on open proof. And the third, the power of immutability. Once our transaction is verified and added to the blockchain, it becomes a permanent tamper-proof record. It can never be altered or erased. What you are about to see is a system designed from the ground up to be open, secure, and user control. Let's dive in and see how it works, starting with setting up the wallet. So basically what we have to do is, whenever we have to set up the wallet, we have to just search for MetaMask and add that extension to our browser. There are the supported browser listed there, so you can add in your suitable browser you want. Basically there, after adding it to the browser, the extension, we have to log in there or sign up. Once you log in, you will able to see such type of interface. Next, we will first connect this to a safe test network environment. Right now I am not using the real Ethereum network where transaction cost money. Instead, I have connected to the Sepolia testnet. So I will tell you how to connect to testnets. First of all, we have to go in networks, and when you go down, we have to enable this show test network. It is already enabled, and this will be listed in our list where I can select a network. In the popular, first of all, it will be present on the popular. Then we have to redirect to the custom. In this, if we select the Sipulia, the testnet will be enabled. So think of this as a free to use playground or a sandbox. This works exactly like a real blockchain, but the currency has no real world value, making it perfect for learning and testing without any financial risk. So we have to first get free test cryptocurrencies. For that, we'll use the specific link to mine the some amount of cryptocurrency. I will redirect to that link. Just let me copy it. I will paste it here. First, what we do is we have to copy our address first. My account address, as it is a test account, so I will copy one of the address and just paste it here. I will click on I'm not a robot. It authenticates that you are not a robot. If once I click on start mining, it will start the mining, and the specific reward will be fetched in my account. So this process takes some time. At we'll see, as some of the amount is already there in my account. I will tell you the transaction. First of all, I will make a transaction. Now for the main event, I am going to send small amount of this test Ethereum to another account. I will send it now. First of all, I have to take the receive address of that particular account. Okay. I will click on receive and copy this address and go back to the account one. You click on send, select the particular CPL Ethereum where I have the particular balance. Okay, I will set 0.01 test nets. Once I click on continue, this transaction will take time. Yeah, it's asking me some of the gas fee it takes. Once I confirm this transaction, now it has been sent to the network for verification. Okay, it has been sent. We will now stop this mining, and once you click on stop mining, okay, it says it has been failed. Once again, I will try some specific amount like 0.05 you have to claim here. Then only we will get that specific cryptocurrency in your account. I click on start mining. It takes some 1 to 2 minutes. To verify the transaction on the public ledger, this is the most important part. How do we know the transaction actually happened? We use a blockchain explorer like Sepolia Etherscan. This is a public website that lets anyone view all the activity on the blockchain. Simply, what I will do is I will copy this address I have. First of all, I will view it on the Explorer. Once I copy this address, what I have, and if I try to check it in other browser, I will able to see this particular transaction. Copy this URL. Once I click on search and add that address, particular address, I will able to see that transaction. Yeah, as you can see here, we are able to see 0.01 amount has been transferred to that particular account, that is account 2. So here is how the transaction between the two persons will be publicly visible to all. Here we can say a security measure is there where every person is able to see that particular transaction. If one of the person try to change any values here, so it will be not match with that publicly available data to all the public persons. So this demonstrates the core principle of the blockchain. Every transaction is transparent, publicly verifiable, and permanently recorded. It cannot be altered or deleted. We come over to this mining. I will stop mining and claim this reward. Once I claim reward, it will be sent to my account within 5 seconds. So one we'll able to see the updated amount soon in our account also. Yeah, as you can see here, we are able to get the updated amount. So this is how the mining also works. So in just few minutes, we have set up a secure digital wallet, connected to safe test environment, acquired free test currencies, sent a transaction, and a publicly verified in it on the blockchain. This entire flow is foundational experience for interacting with thousands of applications in the world of crypto, NFTs, and Web3. So this is that was from my side. Now I will hand over to Suhil sir to carry on.
Hey, it was nice elaboration from your end. Thank you, Team Axiom. You did a fabulous job regarding explanation of how decentralized system like blockchain is important to secure data, how we can implement the blockchain in case of Ethereum and all. So I hope the concept regarding the blockchain is clear to you. For more such sessions, do join us. At the same time, if you can contribute in such kind of live stream sessions, if you're attending remotely, please contact us. Together with the team Axiom, we can explore this kind of technical stack and make us updated with the recent technical stack to serve the better to IT industry. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Beyond the code, we build your growth. Partner with the IT masters at Axiom TechGuru now to turn your vision into a digital reality. Visit to start your transformation today.